And now, to a very special award. Without doubt, every charity we've heard about so far this evening has been outstanding. But for someone, there is a special and personal recognition. The Daniel Phelan Award for Outstanding Achievement. To present this award is director and owner of Civil Society Media. Please give a warm welcome to Cathy Phelan.
Now it's time for a favourite lady. She is our founder, our very own Cathy. It's Cathy Phelan. Come on, it's Cathy Phelan.
Aisha, and good evening everybody. I'm delighted to be here to announce the winner of the Daniel Phelan Award for Outstanding Achievement, presented by Civil Society Media. As always, carrying through Dan's original vision for this award, we are recognising an individual who has had an immense impact in their field, transforming outcomes through their ambition, determination and leadership. The winner of this year's award was inspired to begin their journey by virtue of lived experience. As the parent of a severely disabled baby who was diagnosed with congenital rubella, our winner was shocked by the absence of services and support for families, and at the patronising and dismissive attitude of health and social care professionals at the time. She resolved to create a better system, and a parent support group formed in 1985 was the genesis of Scotland's first charity for deafblind people, Sense Scotland. Her dedication to the cause meant that she soon became its first paid employee, and as it grew, its first chief exec. She would lead Sense Scotland for 25 years, overseeing its growth from a kitchen table project to one of Scotland's biggest charities with an annual income of over £20 million. As well as creating a host of new services from scratch and convincing local authorities to buy them, it was also at the forefront of efforts to find and rescue scores of deaf-blind children and adults hidden away in long-stay hospitals and institutions, and resettle them in the community where they belong. Our winner also helped set up Sense International in the mid-90s, which now operates across Africa, Asia and Eastern Europe. And in 2007, she proudly oversaw the opening of Glasgow Touchbase, an enterprising community hub and services facility for families of children with special needs, which also provided a new income stream for Sense Scotland. By 2010, our winner was winding down to retirement, but then a call came from the chair of Sense, the Midlands-based charity, to ask if she would loan herself to it for 6 months to help the board work through some issues. She agreed, moved to England and stayed for 8 years, leading the development of a new £14 million Touchbase in Birmingham. Touchbase social enterprises have now also opened in Lanarkshire and Ayrshire, enabling the expansion of services for families across Scotland and further reducing Sense Scotland's reliance on shrinking social care budgets. Nowadays, our winner has finally retired, although she continued advising Sense Scotland during the COVID pandemic, and she volunteers in on a grant-making committee at the Wolfson Foundation. She is still involved with Sense International and hopes to return to India at some point to see the many deafblind people she knows there. Despite her phenomenal contribution to the disability sector in both Scotland and England, our winner describes her life's work as a privilege and insists she's done nothing special or out of the ordinary. Well, we beg to disagree. I'm absolutely delighted to announce the winner of the 2021 Daniel Phelan Award for Outstanding Achievement is the amazing Gillian Morbey.
I am honoured and extremely proud to be the recipient of the Daniel Phelan Award. Huge thanks and respect to Civil Society Media. In accepting this award, I've been asked to say a few words. So here we are, all dressed up and nowhere to go. I've had a long and privileged career. I learnt my lessons through supporting people in Sense Scotland, Sense International. I remember children being placed in long-stay hospitals, and I remember these institutions being closed. I saw children in Romanian orphanages in cages. I saw a child near death in the slums of Mumbai. And when I left the shanty town, I broke down. And my friend and colleague said, "You need to stop crying. The grief is not yours to bear." All of you in civil society will have your own stories. Stories full of hope, grief, courage, and actually humour as well. Civil society for me is in part defined by collective action, shared interests and values, and distinct from government. Still, we remain a best kept secret. We're hugely diverse. We are a jigsaw that's least understood. It's all the more important that civil society tells your stories. I hope I have this right, but the Daniel Phelan Award to me is about strong values from a strong ethical base. Hardworking, innovative, and yes, inspirational. Again, when we think of values, I don't mean in a cheesy way. I don't get up every morning and think, oh, I'm going to live my values today. But we do know when something jars against our values. It's interesting, after the banking crash, that the terms of ethical and value-based were given an extra weight. Ethical investment, ethical banking. Perhaps the corporate sector have got something to learn from us. We are not perfect, however. We are all disappointed when a rogue charity lets us down. I believe Daniel Phelan understood that, and I believe that we owe Dan a huge debt for improving both our management and, of course, our governance. Where are we now in the world of a global pandemic? And yes, we are still in the grip of this horrible virus. The charities working in international aid and in health and research know this all too much. In the UK, civil society responded with courage in so many ways. The resilience of unpaid carers was miraculous. Some of you will have experienced the challenges of homeschooling yourselves, but looking after a disabled child or indeed an adult over the multiple lockdowns is a whole different thing. We must not reward these unpaid carers by reducing their care packages when services resume. The crisis in social care was laid bare for all to see. We've learned a great deal about technology, however. What wonderful thing Zoom has been. Where would this award ceremony be without it? But it also comes with challenges and limitations. People still need people, the human touch. The crisis in mental health is evidence to that. According to civil society media, our sector is worth 44 billion, employs over 800,000 people, plus millions of volunteering hours. What an asset we must be. The small community groups who distributed vital supplies to their local communities were life-saving. Food banks, meals delivered, and that is very much continuing. You should be extremely proud every day of being part of our wonderful community. I believe we must continue to inform and influence public policy, not in a shrill way, but to walk in the shoes of politicians to make lasting and effective change, to be the problem-solving innovators that we are. With the greatest respect and huge appreciation to Cathy Phelan, Matthew Nolan, the whole civil society team, Jenny O'Donovan and Tanya Mason for all their guidance, and of course Sue and the judges, and of course you. I know civil society will keep on telling your remarkable stories. Thank you.
Thank you for that fantastic speech, Gillian, and thank you to Kathy. And I just want to read you out a brilliant tweet that's come in from Mad HR Limited, and they've tweeted, "So who else is feeling that ready break glow of wonder, inspiration and pride on what the charity sector has achieved in 2020? Absolutely brilliantly felt. I think we're all feeling that glow. We've definitely got that glow because we're quite hot in the studio right now, but there's all a glow of general loveliness as well. Do keep your tweets coming in at Charity Awards. Now,